What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's late here, but I just found out the news of the new bombshell that Canon just dropped, which is the Canon EOS R3. This thing looks pretty freaking epic. Now, they didn't announce a lot of the specs that are coming with the R3. They only told a few little different things, which we'll go over real quick. I have some pretty high expectations for this camera. Now, it isn't the Canon R1, which has been rumored to be like the replacement for the 1DX. But I read somewhere where it was almost between like the R5 and then like the 1DX. So it's gonna be somewhere in the middle. So there's the R6, which I'm shooting on, then there's the R5, and then there's the R3, and then will probably come the R1 and things like that. But anyways, let's get into the specs that have been announced so far. Not a whole lot of them, and sadly no video specs. But there's a couple little interesting things that we'll get into real quick. All right, so first up, it obviously has that vertical grip, the battery grip that the 1DX has, but the camera is not quite as big as the 1DX. I'll see if I can find a photo of a comparison. I'll pop it up somewhere around here. But yeah, so it's not quite as big as the 1DX. But it looks like it's gonna be a nice size. So think about how the R5 and the R6 are. Compare that to like something like the 90D or like a normal DSLR camera. And so you can tell that the mirrorless cameras are a bit smaller. So even I think for like the R1, it's probably not gonna be the size of the 1DX. It's probably gonna be the size of around this R3. All right, for the next thing, I'm gonna just read it off my phone because I don't wanna butcher it. So it's gonna be the first camera to use a 35mm full frame stacked CMOS sensor with backside illumination. I would have butchered that if I tried to remember that. It's going to be able to shoot 30 frames per second with its electronic shutter. It also goes into a bit of how it's going to work better with sports photography. That's another thing I'm going to read off my phone because I don't want to butcher that as well. So what it says here is a deep learning algorithm has been used to improve recognition of human subjects from the torso up, which is said to help performance in challenging situations like sports photography. And that's it for the known specs. I'm a little bit disappointed that they didn't go into any video specs. Now, I'm not sure whether to be excited for the video specs in this camera, or maybe they might be just mainly focusing on photographers with this camera. I don't know. I'm assuming that since it's above the R5, I'm assuming it's gonna be an 8K camera with potential better overheating solutions and things like that. I'm not too sure what else you can offer with a video camera now. Maybe it'll have better C-Log options like C-Log 2 and C-Log 3, because we know we're getting C-Log 3 with all these Canon R5 and R6 cameras. So yeah, it might offer better C-Log options. Yeah, I guess you could speculate all day what this camera may offer, but all we really know is just a couple of the photo specs. One thing I'm really curious about is if it will have a flip LCD. I know a lot of people are either for it or against it. I'm 100% for it because I do a lot of video work and it helps me frame my shot. And if I vlog, it's good for vlogging. Nope, vlogging's not dead, all right? Vlogging's still much alive. So yeah, I would prefer if it had a flip LCD, but with the 1DX line, none of them had an LCD. Ugh, too many tacos. Yeah, so I'm crazy to know all the crazy details with this camera, if it's gonna be spec'd out, if it's gonna be geared towards just a certain crowd, because there's the rumored R1 coming out. So what's the R1 gonna offer? Because this R3 seems like it's gonna be probably stacked up with like the A1 and the new Nikon camera that comes out. I'm not a big Nikon follower, so what's it called, the Z1? I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm not a Nikon guy. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not really into making these types of videos anymore, but I just saw the R3 and I kind of wanted to talk about it and start a discussion in the comments and see what you guys think, because yeah, I don't have anybody else to talk to this R3 about. So yeah, comment down below, let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that's a camera you might get or you might skip it, if it's gonna be like the 1DX. Yeah, let's talk about it. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for my next video because it's gonna be epic. I'm going off on a camping trip, a travel trip, I'm going off on a trip, and I'm gonna be working on a short film as well, which is gonna be super sick. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Love you guys, peace.